Hi, this is Ray Croney with JetClassroom.com
With Miley Croney.
with Miley Croney, and we're doing a little bit of an advertisement for our Rubik's Cube class called "Teach Your Kid to Cube Like a Boss." All right. So Miley, she has two Rubik's Cubes here. She's going to start solving them while I tell people a little bit about the class. Make sure you hold up the cube so you can see. Okay. And Miley, you know what? I'm going to set the timer so that we can see.
I just started, so I might get an easy
we'll
boost.
start the timer. Okay. Miley's 7 years old. She's been solving the cube since she was about 6. Maybe solving for about 8-9 months or so. We started toying with it a little bit pretty young, but we weren't really that serious until several months ago. I also teach Rubik's Cube classes at her school, so I have a group of 5 and 6 year olds, and I teach them at her school how to solve the Rubik's Cube class. We meet about once a week. I'll tell you a couple of things about the reason you should consider teaching your kid how to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's just very important, I think, for a nice basic logical foundation on problem solving. So it gives them a nice introduction to problem solving with something that's very tactile and visual. So they can see it, they can touch it, they can feel it, and they can practice solving problems in a very static three-dimensional space. And that kind of problem solving, it carries over into all parts of life. Me specifically, I like the idea of teaching kids how to solve Rubik's Cube because I feel that it's a great introduction to software development. So after teaching her to solve the Rubik's Cube, we started playing around a little bit with software development, and we're on CodeMonkey, and we do some CodeMonkey classes. We're just starting them, but I'm just going to start doing them regularly. I'm also going to start recording them so that I can record the CodeMonkey classes as I tutor her on how to code, and I'll record them and then we'll display them online. I have a small software development company and also have a passion for early childhood education. I think it's very important that you expose kids to puzzles, STEM, learning how to code, math at an early age. And that doesn't mean that they have to be good at it off the bat, but they need to practice over and over and over. And the more they practice, the better they get at it. Woo, good job. Let's see how many minutes that was. That was 2 minutes and 17 seconds, and then we start a little bit after. So here, fix this one.
Press it. Yay!
All right, go. Okay. So she finished this one here, and now she's doing another one. So yeah, it's really helpful for software as an intro to software development. It's important that you start getting your kids comfortable with math, science, problem solving, puzzles, thinking about problems from a very early age. It's one of those things I truly believe if you don't drill it in early, their brains aren't as supple and they'll lose a lot of their capacity to pick up those skills very early on. It's like teaching kids new languages. It's much easier to teach kids languages when they're very young, and the younger that you teach them, the better typically. Some of the other reasons, let me go down my official list of reasons that you should take a look at the class. So it'll teach you persistence as well. It's not the easiest thing to learn in the world. It's not the hardest either. But when you think of very complicated things that kids have learned to do, like reading or writing or math for that matter, it's taken time and they had to be persistent. So it'll teach them some level of persistence. It's important that they're also consistent with it. So they need to be persistent, meaning that when it seems like they're not getting it, they have to keep going. And then consistency is doing it over and over every single day and practicing consistently. It's really important to not skip days. Particularly the younger the kid is, I think the more important it is to keep that momentum and the continuity of doing it day after day after day. What I found is when I was teaching Miley, if we skipped 2 days, that when we start back again, it's really tough for her to get back into it psychologically. Just getting back into the habit of just sitting down and working on it and doing it. And all these things are more difficult in the beginning than they are at the end. At the end, they know how to do it. It's fun. then it just becomes maintenance. Let's see how fast I can do it and make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. Something else that kids get out of this that I think is very, very important is a strong sense of accomplishment. It's not the easiest thing to solve, but when they get to the end, they're just so ecstatic that they figured it out, they know how to do it, and it's a new party trick, and they're very excited about the ability to solve it. It also gives your kid a lot of very positive intellectual feedback from their peers and other adults, which I think is very, very important. A lot of people are used to getting that maybe from sports or learning to play an instrument or something like that. But when your 7-year-old is solving a Rubik's Cube at Thanksgiving dinner and everyone in the family sees that, it's a really positive experience for the kid. They start feeling, oh, I'm really smart. Oh, I can solve problems. People look at me like I'm smart. People think I'm smart. And that's important to a child's self-esteem. All right, there we go. We got 2 of them. So let's do the Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube bows.
Rubik's Cube eyes.
And then Rubik's Cube eyes. That's right. So those are the reasons why I think it's really important and why you should consider the class. The class is really geared towards parents and students to learn how to do it together. So you kind of teach the parents, and the parents teaches the kid. And I think that's probably going to be easier than having 5, 6, and 7-year-olds learn to solve a Rubik's Cube independently just from looking at the material and looking at videos. They're really going to need that guidance from their parents. So hopefully parents can get involved with this and they'll enjoy it as well. Some of the other benefits of it, I think it's going to help improve their memory. Both their muscle memory as well as their auditory memory, because there are a lot of algorithms that you have to repeat and learn how to execute them. And it also helps to improve their problem-solving skills. So just that raw problem-solving ability that's needed in software development is very helpful for that. And it also helps with your spatial memory. So you get a better sense of how to orient things in your head in 3 dimensions. And that's really valuable as well. You know what? You can solve this one while I'm finishing this up. She probably won't finish this entire thing, but I'm going to sit there and hold it up so people can see. All right, and then a couple specifics on the class. The class, you can find it at jetclassroom.com, jetclassroom.com. And then if you sign up for the class, then you can click under STEM. There's categories, and under STEM, you'll see the class titled Teach Your Kid the Cube Like a Boss. And then just sign up for that. Get the material. You can go over it as many times as you want. I'm sure sometimes I'll pop in and do group classes as well. It's probably material that'll take you about 6 weeks, a month and a half or so, and that's if you were doing it every day to practice and review it. So the material is pretty dense and useful, and one of the things that I think is very unique about the material is that I've come up with a lot of mnemonics and ways to present the cubes that are very easy for young kids to remember. So one of the things we do is present the cube as if it's a house, and then this is the roof of the house. And then I have a bunch of little simple things and funny things for them to remember as they're learning how to solve the cube. And that's a big part, I think, in taking something that's relatively complicated like this and breaking it down so a 5, 6, even a 4-year-old can learn to solve it. The class is also beneficial to older kids. I just think it's very important to get your 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds involved in it early, because I think a lot of time people skip them. They think, oh, that this is too advanced for them, when it's exactly the opposite. This is the age that they're most able to absorb this type of material, and it has the biggest impact on their future and their academic development. And their neurons are so plastic at this point that it's just the perfect time for them to learn this stuff and absorb it. If you want to email me, you can catch me at info@jetclassroom.com. And you saw that one. Okay, and then you can start with younger grades, younger ages as well. So you can do 4 years old if you've got a kid that's pretty advanced. I've seen some 2 and 3 year olds do it. Not all kids are ready at that age. It's a really young age. But I'm sure if you have the right technique, you can probably teach a 2 or 3 year old how to do it. But anyway, that is our class. Let's go over the name one more time, Miley. Teach your kid how to cube like a boss. All right. We look forward to working with you. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up, info@jetclassroom.com. And then I'm sure I'll have Instagram and YouTube stuff that's out, and I'll modify the YouTube videos as well. All right. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.